Penn Can Speedway rises again. The great race is drawing near. We continue our look at the American Endurance Racing Series, plus action and interviews from Skyline Raceway Park. All that and more on this edition of The Race Report. Hi everyone and welcome to another edition of the Race Report. I'm Ron Hills. In just 6 weeks, the Great Race will make a stop in Norwich. Mark Sunday, June 24th at noon on your calendar for a wonderful time at the Northeast Classic Car Museum. It's one of the most spectacular museums on the East Coast. Jim Feeney is a veteran of the Great Race, both as a competitor and now as an official.
Well, this is my 36 Ford police car that my wife Louise and I raced in the Great Race. We started in 2001 racing in the race, and we lucked out and we won the sportsman division that year, and we said, oh, this is easy. And we've been doing it ever since. And a few years later we were able to win the expert division, but we've never been able to win it overall. We came close one year in 2010. We came in second overall. But we're still trying for that first win. We kind of get hooked on it. So, as I said, this is a 36 Ford. It was a police car a long time ago. It didn't look like this back then. Frank Whitney found it and restored it back in the early 90s, and he raced it for 4 years in the Great Race. And then he put it away, and when my wife said she'd like to do the Great Race, she called Frank. And the next thing I know, I came home and I'm buying a car. So, as I said, we've been doing since 2001. Back in 2007, the Great Race ran into problems, financial problems. So we started the Northeast Rally Club, which was out of New Jersey and Delaware mostly. We started putting on races, and they needed help, so I started laying out races back then. And so now not only do Louise and I race this, but we also put on races. We just got back from Rochester. We're doing a 3-day race there in 3 weeks from now. So we've been involved both in racing now and in putting on the races and writing the instructions, which is it's quite an endeavor. It takes a lot of work. This year, the Great Race is going from Buffalo, New York to Nova Scotia, and it's going to be stopping here at the Norwich Museum for lunch on Sunday, the 24th of June. Come on down. I think it starts around noon. The cars will start getting here about 12:15. My wife and I will be hopefully making it here. We don't know what position we'll be in. We'll probably be sometime in the first hour. But we'd love to see you all. Come on down, and you'll see a lot of nice cars.
When we return, Penn Can Speedway kicks off their 2018 season. But first, here's a look at the Car of the Week from Brush and Pallet Auto in Candor.
30 years of satisfied customers. That's the proud history of Brush and Pallet Auto in Candor. We have a large selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Here is this week's Car of the Week. We'll give you a $1,000 minimum trade-in, and we have financing options to fit your needs, including a first-time buyer's program. Think you can't afford it? We think you can. Check us out at brush-pallet.com or visit us in person at 598 Owego Road in Candor, New York.
Unicorn Electronics in the Valley Plaza, Johnson City has the best pricing and selection of audio, video, and computer cables in the area. Don't spend a fortune on that HDMI cable for your new HD TV or Blu-ray player. Unicorn Electronics has quality cables in the lengths you need at a price you can afford. Expanding your network? Unicorn has the patch cables and accessories to make it happen. When you need to connect, think Unicorn Electronics in the Valley Plaza, Johnson City.
Hey car buffs, listen up. If you like them, we got them. And you'll love the Northeast Classic Car Museum. Over 170 cars on display in our huge one-level facility. Whatever the weather, we're open 7 days a week from 9 to 5 in Norwich.
If you're looking for the most convenient and profitable way to change your gold jewelry, coins, and sterling silver into cash, visit Solid Gold Jewelry.
Main Street in Endwell, Solid Gold Jewelry, always a sweet deal.
98.1 The Hawk, Binghamton's #1 for new country. That means more Luke. I can't move when you move. More Carrie. More Jason. Come on, more Keith. More Blake. Glenn and Tracy in the morning. Binghamton's #1 for new country. 98.1 The Hawk.
Welcome back to the Race Report. 1 month ago, the future of Penn Can Speedway in Susquehanna looked dim, but in just a few weeks, the track has seen major improvements. I talked with promoter Chad Towner.
Thank you. It's been a long road, but in 3 weeks, but we're happy to do it. We're happy to keep the track here in Susquehanna. From as far as I can remember, I was here at the track. I was watching everybody, watching my Uncle Truck run street stocks and late models, and then I got into where I was older, helping out Chuck Bowman and a few other guys, and I just started helping out with the track, and I've been here ever since. Doug called me and said he was done, he couldn't do it anymore, and I immediately called my wife and said, we got to keep it open, we got to do something, and she said, okay, let's do it, and we got with Alan Rudelovich and Butchie Getz and a few other guys down at Speed Sport Showcase and had a meeting and see what we could do, and we immediately contacted the Bevins family and started working on it. We had a lot of issues, not knocking anybody, but things have gone downhill a little bit, so we knew that coming in here we had to do something. Restructuring parts of the track, putting in a new kids track, cleaning the ponds, taking the apexes out, fixing buildings, new decks, new railings, new roofs. It just had to be done, and I couldn't have done it without the community, the racers. The racers have been fabulous. I mean, they've been down here working until midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, if not later, with me every night. The community supporting us with donations, money, coming here and cleaning up with us. I mean, it's been phenomenal. I've never really seen anything like this in my life. One of the things, we said we had to bring back, and we're doing it. And I think he's on a pretty good goal that we may have every kid a bike this year. And we're going to do what we can, as promoters here at the track, as I know the drivers and the fans, we're going to do what we can to try to give every kid a bike this year. This is just the beginning. As long as we can keep our car counts here and we can get the fans in the stands, we're not done. We're just hitting the tip of the berg here. We really want to improve the place. We want to get more venues just other than racing here, utilize the facility for a few other things, and really put Susquehanna back on the map and Penn Can Speedway. Go on to Facebook. You can private message. You can go on our website. My phone numbers are there. Joanne Mady's phone number's there. Brian Chase's will be on there soon. Down here running the equipment, I don't always get to answer my phone, or I don't hear it. Leave me a message. I call you back as soon as I get it. Sometimes it's the next day because I don't see it until about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I don't want to call anybody back that late. Thanks, Ron. I hope it succeeds, and I hope we make it, as good as it once was.
Sam Folk is on the flag stand, ready to drop the green on the modified feature. Calling the action is the voice of Penn Can Speedway, Craig Hawley.
As they roll down the backstage, will unlock the cage, and as they head off into turn 3, you better bet they're set to be let free, so wait for the color that brings fear to their mothers. Green means go, and the modified storm down to turn 1. The advantage to Pompey into turn 1. Everybody slicing and dicing between 1 and 2. We negotiate the corners and taking them down the back straightaway is Glenwood, Pennsylvania's Dan Pompey off corner number 4. Pompey is going to lead lap number 1. Second is the 13 of Davis, and it's Hollywood Rudalovich. Everybody crossing the line for lap number 1. Dan Pompey out front, setting pace and showing the way in the can opener in car number 11. Rudalovich to the inside of Steve Davis as they ride it down to turn number 1 and 2. Give the number 2 spot to Alan Rudalovich. 18 laps are complete on the Pepsi scoreboard. Not sure what happened to the 88 of Kevin Hartnett, but he's going to go pit side. All 4 tires appear to be up. For Dan Pompey, looking for his 4th straight opening day can opener victory. Alan Rudalovich would love to play the spoiler. Green flag is out underway. And lap number 18, a restart, and into turn 1 goes the 11 of Dan Pompey. Look at Petrelak trying to go up and test the waters on the outside. But corner number 4, it is. Again, Nick Petrelak to the outside, trying to make something happen around Joey Grammis. They're all chasing Dan Pompey, and Nick Petrelak is going to the wild side. He is committed. Everybody else kind of down on that bottom. Not Nick Petrelak. He's going to be the crowd pleaser up on the outside. And he is alongside Joey Grammis. Petrelak is continuing to run the wild side. A crowd pleasing run up the back straightaway for the number 3 spot. And he's not done yet. Nick Petrelak on the outside. Got to the wild side, jumped the cushion. 21 and 9 remain for Dan Pompey. Now Joey Grammis going to try the outside to work around Alan Rudalovich. Has he been saving his equipment? 23 and 7 remain, and Joey Grammis finding the loud pedal off corner number 2. They stay side by side in the 3. Grammis and Rudalovich. That's the battle for second. Joey Grammis going to nose ahead down the front straightaway. Grammis now solidly in that number 2 spot. Does he have anything left in the tank for Dan Pompey? 5 laps to go in the can opener. Looking for his 4th can opener in a row is the 11 of Dan Pompey. Defending track champion leads him down the back straightaway for the final time in a 3 and 4. Checkered flag is in the air. For the 4th year in a row, the can opener is Dan Pompey. Joey Grammis for 2. Alan Rudalovich is 3rd. 4th is Nick Petrelak, and 5th is the 13 of Steve Davis.
Here's a look at all the winners Friday night at Penn Can Speedway. Still to come, racing action from Skyline Raceway Park, and we continue our look at the American Endurance Racing Series.
For 3 generations, we've been building world-class American performance.
Like the new Edelbrock Power Package Top-End Kit, based on Edelbrock's powerful RPM crate engines. Each kit includes aluminum heads and intake, cam and lifters, gaskets, and hardware to build your own 400-plus horsepower Chevy small block. For 3 generations, it's pure American performance from the leader. Call now for your free Edelbrock catalog.
Edelbrock makes them right here in the USA.
Hey car buffs, listen up. If you like them, we got them. And you'll love the Northeast Classic Car Museum. Over 170 cars on display in our huge one-level facility. Whatever the weather, we're open 7 days a week from 9 to 5 in Norwich.
Roast beef, mashed potatoes, spaghetti sauce, sliced tomatoes, scrambled eggs, turkey legs. I pinch everything. Salamitas. There's nothing else like it.
30 years of satisfied customers. That's the proud history of Brush and Pallet Auto in Candor. We have a large selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Here is this week's Car of the Week. We'll give you a $1,000 minimum trade-in, and we have financing options to fit your needs, including a first-time buyers program. Think you can't afford it? We think you can. Check us out at brush-pallet.com or visit us in person at 598 Owego Road in Candor, New York.
98.1 The Hawk, Binghamton's #1 for new country. That means more Luke. I can't move when you move. More Carrie. More Jason. Come on, everybody scream. More Keith. Looks good on the sky. More Blake. Glenn and Tracy in the morning. Binghamton's #1 for new country. 98.1 The Hawk.
Welcome back to the Race Report. The American Endurance Racing Series is the newest low-budget road racing series offering fun and affordable racing with emphasis on safety and parity.
As far as the racing goes, it's a team effort, obviously. It's got to be a team effort. The drivers do their jobs and the pit crew does their job. And that's what brought us into the #1 position this last time. We finished second, we finished third, we've now finished first. And it's a culmination of teamwork and effort by everybody on the team that works together, that understands everybody's job individually, and that's what makes it fun. It's a camaraderie of team effort, and we really enjoy it.
One of the things that I find interesting about this series is that rather than running track tires or racing tires, the sanctioning body insists on street legal tires. Now, I know that the drivers here, Brian, Mike, and Steve, have all driven competition tires in PCA events and other events, but I would like to get their impression as to how what the differences are, how they feel a difference between the street tire and a racing tire.
I have experience racing on Hoosiers, which are a DOT legal tire, as well as full-blown slicks. Racing on the street tire is very different. They do talk to you a lot more. They'll scream before they let go, versus a slick, which has got all the traction you could hope for, and when it's gone, it's gone. But the car that we race is very light and handles very well on the street tires. But they definitely will talk to you before they let go, and you lose control.
So the other thing with those tires is they last 18 hours. So, I mean, it's amazing with the street tire. And the reason they use street tires is they don't want it to be, I guess, an arms race. They're trying to keep costs under control with the series and make it as competitive possible for the, Class 1 cars to the Class 5 cars, which can be, Ferraris, Corvettes, things of that nature.
The tires are groove tires, so a lot of times you don't even have to go in to put a rain tire on. So you're running a street tire that has grooves in it, and they're so durable and they handle the rain, so that's another advantage of them.
Brian, as the owner of this car, you obviously have more miles than anyone else or more time in the car. Do you notice a significant difference in the tires as they wear?
Well, for instance, this past weekend up at Watkins Glen, Friday morning was very cold, snow on the track. We had to wait till the afternoon before we went out for qualifying. Track was wet. Tires got pretty grippy as the day went on. Saturday morning, also very cold. One thing about these tires that we like very much is when they start to go away, if you back down a little bit, they'll come back to you, as opposed sometimes to the full-blown racing tires. Once they start to go, they just continue to go. These tires will come back to you a little bit. If you back it down a little bit for a lap or two, they'll come right back.
And our look at the American Endurance Racing Series will continue over the next several weeks. Mike Wilmot has found success in every class in which he has raced, which is now the Open Sportsman Division at Skyline Raceway Park.
All right, we're here at the Skyline Raceway Park, and speaking with me tonight from our Open Sportsman Division, Machine Gun Mike Wilmot. good to have you here at the Skyline Raceway.
Yes, sir. It's great to be here.
All right, well, let's talk about Mike Wilmot, and you've been in IMCA cars. How did you first get started racing? How did you get into it? What did you race? And a little bit about your progression and what brought you to the Open Sportsman that you're running tonight.
Well, I started in street stock. I started for about 1 year. We didn't have a very good car, a very good year. So we decided to switch to IMCA, talked to Brad Weaver, bought his car, and went out and won the third night in the car. So after that, we ran that for 4 years. We bought a Sportsman and went to 5 Mile Point with it, and we ended up winning the Rookie of the Year, 5th in points. And here we are now. It's been 4 years since I raced. So
taking off a little time there, but you've knocked off the rust and looked pretty good out there in the qualifying heat event, so not too bad.
Felt really good in the qualifier. We started on the pole. Like I said, that's not easy, but it's not a hard way. We got to start 8th in the feature. That's definitely going to be a little harder.
Well, very good. So you haul out of Harpersville, New York, and make your rounds Saturday nights. Maybe Skyline going to be the hometown track here?
We're actually planning on this being our hometown track this year, yes. And we'll probably run Afton a little here and there, but Skyline will be our hometown track this year.
Well, that's awesome. It's a newly configured speedway. The racing service has been kind of changed and added some width back there. And
I like that.
I know you've been here before, so how's it feel out there so far?
Honestly, the new configuration is awesome. Just a little bit wider, and you got a little more racing room, Definitely a lot better. I like it.
Okay, so going forward, you would probably want to talk about some of the folks that help you every week to get out to the racetracks and some of your sponsors. So let's talk a little bit about them.
Well, right now we got one sponsor, really. It's BR Logging. He's been with me since I was 15 years old. So I'm 39 now. So he's been with me a long time on every car I've ever had. But you got him. I got Chuck Zimmer, my wife Tasha, my kids Mike, Dylan, and Aaliyah, my mom, my dad. I mean, everybody that's helped me. I really appreciate it, and we wouldn't be here without you. I can tell you that right now.
Well, it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort. Sponsors are pretty important, and anytime that you get some support, it always makes it a little bit easier.
Yes, sir, it does. That's for sure.
Okay, so let's talk about the M16. I know we've thrown out the nicknames out there, and Machine Gun Mike, and you run the M16. So how did that come about, and how did you decide on M16 being your number?
Well, I had 2 boys. I also have a daughter, but she wasn't born yet. So we started off with the boys, and one's Michael, and Dylan was born on the 16th. So we started off with M16. That was the best configuration we can come up with, so that's what we went with.
So it's a family thing with the Wilmots.
That's right, always.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on your success in the past. We wish you the best going forward here at Skyline. And for the race report at the Skyline Raceway with Mike Wilmot, we'll see you back in the studio, Ron.
Thanks, Jim. To Racing Action and the voice of Skyline Raceway Park, Jim Chase.
25 laps to go in the distance. Dale Welty and Jimmy Zacharias on the pole. We're going to go green, green, green. And door-to-door, wheel-to-wheel, bumper-to-bumper. Green flag is out. And Welty, Zacharias, and everybody jockeying for position. And Petrobowski off the mark just a little bit. Bobbles. Everybody has to check up a little bit. Chris Jordan up on the high side. Rocky Rothwell down low. And everybody making it around. Putting lap 1 in the books. It's Dale Welty in the 1-2-3 machine. He'll lead Jimmy Zacharias and A.J. Petrobowski down into turns 3 and 4. Chris Jordan, Rocky Rothwell, Dwayne Jackson, your top 6. Benny Bouchard running 7th. Dustin Jordan right there running in the 8th spot. Out of turn number 2, and Rothwell takes over the number 3 spot from Chris Jordan, and Benny Bouchard getting turned sideways down the back straightaway. Reynolds and Lee DeWitt spin avoiding him, and that will bring out the caution. Off turn number 4, our race leader with just 2 laps to go. White flag being shown. Checkered flag going to fall for Dale Welty, Jimmy Zacharias, Chris Jordan, Rocky Rothwell, Dustin Jordan, A.J. Petrobowski. Then it's going to be the 16 of Wilma Jackson, the 77 of DeWitt Williams Bouchaw.
And here's a look at the full rundown of Skyline Raceway Park's winners on Saturday. This Saturday night, Skyline Raceway Park adds a full sanctioned night of racing for the IMCA Modified Division. On Sunday, Skyline Raceway Park hosts round number 2 of their small car racing program. On Friday night, Penn-Can Speedway returns to action. On Saturday, the International Motor Racing Research Center in Watkins Glen is hosting a presentation on racing safety with 5 of the country's most renowned safety experts on hand. The presentation starts at 1 p.m. The International Motor Racing Research Center is located at 610 South Decatur Street in Watkins Glen. For more information, log on to racingarchives.org. The Race Report is looking for people to shoot video at Chemung Speedrome and Champion Speedway in Owego. If you'd like to be part of the action, contact Ron Hills at theracereport.tv or call me at 607-727-9399. Please join us for racing trivia every Monday night at the California Grill, 912 Vestal Parkway East in Vestal. Come early and enjoy their delicious menu. Then at 7:30, challenge your friends to a round of racing trivia. This week's bonus answer is 101. You could be advertising your business right here on The Race Report. For more information, log on to theracereport.tv or call 888-787-RACE. That's 888-787-7223. Next week on The Race Report, we'll remember our good friend John Cederberg, who left us this week. But for tonight, we leave with highlights of John's favorite racetrack, Shangri-La Speedway in Owego. For the entire staff of The Race Report, thanks for watching. Until next week, I'm Ron Hills, and I'll see you at the races.
As the 33 of Hedger trying to pass Darrell Lewis. Penalized one spot, was he? As Randy Hedger was penalized one spot on the restart. And we're coming up on 2 laps to go. Shepard, Kent, Zane Seiner, Rick Zacharias, Michkowski, 6th place. Shiner, Krzyzewski's moved up into 7th spot. Randy Hedger in 8th, but keep in mind he's down 1 spot. White flag, here we go, 1 lap to go. NASCAR Modified opener in the Budweiser Open Wheel Extravaganza. Here he comes out of turn number 4. Ronnie Shepard with George Kent. It's Ronnie Shepard. Kent in 2nd. Zane Seiner running in 3rd place. Michkowski in 4th, followed by the number 1 of Rick Zacharias.